It's 6:03 a.m. The Caribbean is still half asleep when three Venezuelan patrol boats rip across the water at 28 knots. This isn't surveillance. This isn't trailing from a distance. This is a block. Their engines howl as white spray peels off their bows, the ships angling straight toward the core of a U.S. Navy carrier strike group south of Curaçao. On the flight deck of the USS George Washington, time seems to stall. Then the collision alarm screams. 3 high-speed contacts. Bearing 217. 12 nautical miles. Closing fast. Inside the Combat Information Center, the air tightens instantly. Optical zoom locks in. Colors sharpen. Red, blue, yellow. Venezuela. This isn't shadowing, someone says, calm but absolute. This is a wall. The USS gravely moves first. Turbines surge. 10 degrees starboard. Foaming wake curls outward as the destroyer swings. Across the strike group, radios crackle to life. Short, precise, controlled. Contacts closing at 28 knots. Recommend intercept posture. Maintain course. Carrier holds. On the flight deck, controlled chaos erupts. Tie-down chains are ripped free from an MH-60 or Seahawk. Rotor blades swing out. Safety pins come loose. Over the intercom, one sentence cuts through everything. They're attempting to block us. 3 sleek hulls. Tight formation. No room offered. No deviation ordered. A carrier strike group worth more than $13 billion is now seconds away from either blinking or forcing someone else to. The commanding officer doesn't hesitate. Maintain course and speed. 3 ships, 1 line, and a U.S. carrier group that refuses to slow down. 6:05 a.m. Engines thunder across the formation as the USS gravely surges ahead, a gray spear slicing across the carrier's bow. Her role is clear. Intercept. Show posture. Hold the line. Inside the Combat Information Center, the Surface Watch officer's voice slices through the chatter. Calm. Commanding. Contacts inside 10 nautical miles. Bearing unchanged. Speed holding at 28 knots. The captain leans in, one hand firm on the console. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't need to. Visible posture. No weapons cue. No targeting solution. Let them see us. Every sailor understands the message instantly. It's one of the Navy's unwritten rules, deterrence through presence alone. The destroyer heels slightly as turbines surge to 90%. The sound is raw, mechanical, unmistakable. The 5-inch Mark 45 gun mount rotates 10 degrees to starboard. Not rushed. Not aggressive. Intentional. No radar lock. No laser designation. Just exposure. Above deck, the MH-60 or Seahawk receives clearance. Razor 2-1, cleared for launch. Visual contact. Weapons cold. Copy gravely. 90 seconds to wheels up. The flight crew moves with rehearsed precision, hands already knowing where to go. Tie-downs fly clear. Rotor blades flex. A sailor shouts, clear left. The Seahawk surges into the morning haze. Back inside CIC, radar tracks refresh. The Venezuelan patrol boats, 3 Guy Carey class vessels, spread just slightly, maintaining formation like chess pieces sliding across a board. Their wakes carve a shallow V, pointed straight across the carrier's bow. The communications officer keys the open channel again. Unidentified Venezuelan naval vessels. This is a United States warship operating in international waters. You are intersecting a restricted formation. Alter course immediately. Silence. Bridge to engineering. Maintain maximum turbine output. Copy. Full power maintained. Below decks, sailors lock into position at their weapon stations. CIWS systems spin up. The Phalanx, nicknamed Sea Whiz, comes alive with its familiar diagnostic whine. Barrels turning slowly. Waiting. No one is joking. No one is rattled. And everyone knows this is real. Through binoculars, the ships are visible now. Low profiles slicing white wounds into the deep blue sea. At this distance, even without a radar lock, intent is impossible to miss aboard the Gravely. Bridge, CIC. Range to lead vessel now 8.6 nautical miles. Copy. Record it. Hold intercept. The carrier still hasn't budged. No course correction. No reduction in speed. In naval terms, there's no louder statement than that. You chose this. Now you decide how it ends. By 6:08 a.m., the Seahawk lifts clear of the deck, rotor blades carving through thick Caribbean air. Seconds later, it banks south toward the contacts. 3 fast patrol boats in tight V formation, 6 nautical miles ahead of the USS George Washington. Razor 2-1 airborne, the pilot reports. Altitude 500 feet. Visual on formation in 60 seconds. Below, the USS gravely charges through open water, riding the carrier's flank like a released guard dog. Her gray hull throws off a sharp, white wake, glowing under the rising sun. On the foredeck, the Mk-45 5-inch gun remains trained forward. Not threatening, not hidden, just there. Inside the carrier's combat direction center, the surface plot resembles a slow-motion crash. 3 red symbols closing on a single blue spearhead. Range 5.4 nautical miles, the tactical officer calls. The response comes instantly. Visibility only. No target painting. Because in moments like this, control is the sharpest weapon. The Seahawk reaches the scene first. Its FLIR system locks onto the Venezuelan vessels. Compact hulls, gray-green paint, faint heat blooms from diesel exhaust. Visual confirmation on 3 Gay-Carry-class patrol craft, the sensor operator reports. Formation holding. Heading north-northeast. Speed 27 knots. From 600 feet above, every detail is unmistakable. Venezuelan flags snap violently in the wind. Binoculars are raised on their bridges, aimed straight back at the U.S. ships. Razor 2-1 to Gravely. They're forming a blockade posture. Copy. Maintain visual contact. No aggressive pass. The Seahawk stays wide, circling with the sun at its back, an outline impossible for the Venezuelans to miss. Every second of footage streams directly into Gravely's combat systems below. On the destroyer, sailors steady themselves behind steel bulkheads as the Phalanx CIWS spins up. 6 barrels catch the early light as the system hums awake. They call it Sea Whiz for a reason. It can unleash 4,500 rounds per minute if ordered. But for now, it only watches. Cameras roll nonstop. Radar sweeps are recorded. Nothing hostile, just documentation. Bridge, CIC. Lead vessel now 4.9 nautical miles. Copy. Hold posture. The carrier strike group still refuses to yield. No deceleration. No turn away. Aircraft remain secured, launch crews standing by. Catapults are cold, but energized. The commander knows the truth. A turn now would mean surrendering the sea lane. From above, the Seahawk's infrared feed turns the ocean into shades of white and gray. 3 Venezuelan ships form a steel barrier across open water. The pilot's voice slips onto the radio, low, controlled, edged with warning. They're holding the line. Back aboard the Gravely, the captain studies the tactical plot. One decision away from escalation. Keep our bow pointed straight through them, he says evenly. They want to block a carrier group. Let's show them what that really means. 6:12 a.m. The ocean shrinks to nothing but distance and tension. For nautical miles, 3 Venezuelan ships cut laterally across the track of a U.S. carrier strike group moving at 20 knots. Every camera on every deck is recording, without exception. Yet no one speaks. Aboard the USS Gravely, the bridge loudspeaker snaps to life. Bridge to all stations. Stand by for radio traffic. The first transmission goes out, measured, controlled, exact. Venezuelan naval vessels. This is a United States warship operating in international waters. You are approaching a restricted formation. Alter course immediately. Static fills the channel. Then a response, sharp and accented. You are entering our security zone. Reduce speed and change heading now. No reaction. No movement. Inside the Combat Information Center, the atmosphere hums. Tight. Charged. Dangerous. Radar sweeps pulse across the screen like a living thing. Contacts steady at 27 knots. Range closing. 3.8 nautical miles, the Surface Watch officer reports. The captain answers without raising his voice. Maintain course. Maintain speed. Visibility only. Overhead, the Seahawk continues its orbit, FLIR turret fixed on the lead Venezuelan vessel. From 700 feet, the image is unmistakable. Missile pod shapes visible on deck, uncovered, angled outward. The live feed floods the destroyer's displays. Razor 2-1 to Gravely. Visual on weapons pods. No radar locks observed. Copy. Hold orbit. On the carrier's flag bridge, the strike group commander crosses his arms, eyes locked forward. This isn't escort behavior, he says quietly. They're building a blockade. The Venezuelan lead ship transmits again, this time in Spanish. Bolivarian security zone. Change course. The American response is immediate. Negative. Operating lawfully in international waters under UNCLOS. Maintains safe separation. At 3.4 nautical miles, distance stops being abstract. The Venezuelan formation shifts. Bow waves run nearly parallel to Gravely's wake. The geometry turns personal. Inside the destroyer's Combat Information Center, breathing unconsciously matches the rhythm of the radar sweep. Bridge, EW. No targeting emissions detected, but they're sweeping us with surface search radar. Copy. Record every hit. The phalanx mount on Gravely shifts slightly, just enough for sunlight to glint off its rotating barrels. No sound. No announcement. Just a message. We see you. On the Venezuelan lead ship, binoculars catch the same flash in return. 30 seconds stretches into something far longer. Every command, every movement, feels like it could become tomorrow's headline. They're not pulling back, someone murmurs. Neither are we, the captain answers evenly. Then, barely noticeable, the momentum changes. Venezuelan engines ease down. 28 knots becomes 20. The formation remains intact, but the sharp edge is gone. For the first time, the range stops shrinking. The standoff freezes, balanced between ego and inertia. 6:18 a.m. Engines settle. Wakes smooth across the Caribbean as if the ocean itself just released a breath. The Venezuelan patrol craft shifts posture, no longer cutting aggressively, bows angling east as speed drops to 18 knots. Aboard the Gravely, tension doesn't vanish, it loosens. Bridge, CIC. Contact slowing. Formation spreading slightly. Copy. Hold course. Continue recording. Above, the Seahawk completes another wide circle, Fleur still trained on the lead vessel. The exhaust heat signature fades as power decreases. Razor 2-1 to Gravely. Visual confirmation of course change. They're disengaging. Roger. Maintain altitude and observe until full separation. On the carrier's bridge, there's no cheering. The USS George Washington holds its course, 217, 20 knots, rolling forward with the certainty of a freight train. The commander crosses his arms and speaks softly. Keep it that way. We don't pay off bluffs. Below, in the CIC, operators document everything: radar cycles, bearing shifts, precise timestamps. What just happened is no longer tension. It's record, proof that discipline outlasts intimidation. At 6:23 a.m., the Venezuelan patrol vessels complete their turn east-southeast, now paralleling their own coastline. Range opens to 6.2 nautical miles, and growing. No weapons discharged. No alarms triggered. Yet the message carried farther than any detonation. Caracas flinched first. By 6:30 a.m., the strike group slides back into normal formation. The Seahawk touches down, and its rotors fold away, metal settling with the sound of release. For the crew, it becomes another entry in the logbook. By 6:45 a.m., the sea is calm again, as if the moment never existed. The carrier group presses on. Flight deck crews return to routine. Sunlight washes over steel gray hulls. But every sailor out there knows exactly what happened. No missiles. No gunfire. Just control, precision, and resolve. This was never about firepower. It was about who would look away first. And on the open sea, patience can be the deadliest weapon of all. No one aboard calls it a win, but everyone understands exactly what was said. Freedom of navigation doesn't stop for political theater. For Caracas, this was a performance. For Washington, it was just another workday. Now the question comes to you. If you'd been on that bridge at sunrise, watching 3 patrol boats charge your line, would you have stayed the course or chosen the cautious path? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you like this breakdown and want more real-world maritime encounters like it, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. If you want to support the channel even further, consider joining the fleet. Members get loyalty badges, priority replies, and help us bring more authentic naval stories straight to you. Just click join on the channel page and come aboard. Fair winds, sailors, and remember, coffee always tastes better when you didn't have to sidestep a Venezuelan patrol boat before dawn. I'll catch you in the next one.